Hi, this is Sue Chef from Isabel's Market and Eatery. I'm excited to announce this week's meal kit. Holden, what are we making this week?
Delicious spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs, you got it. So Holden was here last week. We asked him to come back this week because he did such a great job. We thought everybody's home this time of year and it'd be kind of a fun family project, right, to make spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
So let's get started, Holden. I'm, of course, going to make you do the dirty work once again. So let's take the ground beef first. You want to get a nice big bowl because we're going to be mixing this all together and plop that in there. That's a culinary term, plop. All right. Then we've got onions. Go ahead and throw those in there. And they're already pre-chopped. That's the nice thing about these meal kits. You don't have to chop onions. I don't know a lot of people who like to do that, so we make it easy on you. And we got some nice 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs. Put those in there. And then we're going to put the egg. So the egg is one of those things that acts like a binder and it holds everything together. So let's see how well you do. You're going to crack it on the side. Can you do it one-handed?
No.
We're not even going to try, right? Beautiful. And you can just throw that right in here. And then take the pre-chopped garlic, another one of those things that people don't often love to cut up. We do that for you. Beautiful. So why don't you just put your hands in there and just, mix it all together. I've also got a seasoning mix that while you're doing that, I'm going to put that in there. It's called Mama's Meatball Meatloaf Mix, which we sell here at Isabel's. A lot of this, it'll go with meatloaf, it'll go with meatballs, and so that you don't even have to think about all the different seasonings. So we're going to go ahead and put the seasonings in there. That's looking really good. And once you get that all incorporated and mixed up, we're going to make them into 1-inch meatballs. And I've got a skillet here. A non-stick skillet is often the way to go because you don't want to get stuff stuck all over the place. Did you see how good I caught that?
Yeah.
It's those cat-like reflexes. All right, so let's both start making these into some nice little round meatballs. And I've got the pan all heated up. We've got olive oil in the pan. So you can go ahead once you've done making your meatball, put it in there. Good job. And the reason we brown these is because it kind of makes them intact, forms them into the balls and holds them in place so that when you put them in the sauce, it doesn't all break up and start floating all over the place. Oh, that smells really good. It's amazing how quickly, when that garlic starts cooking, you can smell that. So it'll probably take, maybe about 6 or 8 minutes for these to cook. But that's okay because we've got some other things that we're going to be doing in the meantime. I've got a pot of water over here boiling, and we're going to put our pasta in there. The pasta really doesn't take very long because it's fresh pasta. Why do you think that is, Holden? Why would it take less time for fresh pasta over maybe like a dried pasta you get in the grocery store?
Because it's fresh?
Yep. And when it's fresh, it means it has a little bit more moisture in it already. So it really is only going to take about a minute or so. So those are looking good. Do one more. We got a lot more meatballs out of that than I thought we would. So you can go ahead and take your gloves off and throw them right in that bowl because we're going to move on to the next step. And I've got another set of gloves for you. There you go. All right, part of cooking and putting gloves on is one of the challenges, right? If your hands are a little sweaty or hot, it's really hard to get these on. But we can do it. It's not gurking very well, is it?
No.
No, you're getting it. You're getting it.
I got something.
You got something? Well, while you're doing that, I'll just clean up our mess because we're going to move on to our salad. All right, here's our salad. This is a chopped salad. So basically, it's a very simple salad where instead of shredding the lettuce, we're gonna chop them and we're gonna make our own salad dressing. All right, we're ready. Now we're gonna do the salad. Holden's got his gloves on, we're ready to roll. So we're gonna start with a little romaine. I like romaine because it holds up and it's a little bit stronger. It's not a soft lettuce. It's not full of a ton of water, so it lasts a little bit longer. And I should have told you to bring your knife this time because we're actually going to do a little chopping. But you can handle a knife, so I'm going to give you one of my special sous chef knives. Just be really careful. So have you ever heard of the claw? when you're
No.
cutting. So this is a trick that they teach in culinary school so you won't chop your fingers off. You hold things like it's a claw, right? And you kind of use your knuckles to guide you as you cut back. Because if you hold your fingers out, you might slip. This way you really, so try that and cut that piece of lettuce up. Yeah, there you go, like a claw. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna keep turning these meatballs so they get evenly browned on all sides. Great job, great job. All right, so the end piece, we're just gonna discard because it's bitter. So just leave that over there. And then I'm gonna give it one more chop across the middle so they're nice bite-sized pieces. And we'll put that right in our bowl. And then you can start layering the other ingredients. We've got chickpeas right here.
Chickpeas are one of my favorite foods.
They are. What do you have them in?
Well, my mom just like roasts them on a pan.
Oh
And I
yeah.
just eat them.
And put like seasonings on it and stuff.
Next, onions. Right?
Yep. Next we've got red onions. That's the beauty of salads. There's no really like rules to it. It's like whatever you like, throw in the salad. And what is that? Can you guess?
Cheese.
Yeah, it's Parmesan Reggiano cheese, which is the king of cheeses. We waste nothing. We don't do anything but the best here. And then what do you got here?
Tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes, right. So now we get to make the dressing. So let's move these things. I'll get these out of your way. And one of my favorite tools we're gonna get to use, and I understand you got a Christmas present this year. That is a really cool tool. You got one of those bullets, right?
Yeah.
So those little blenders that you push down, they make great smoothies. Would be really good for this, for making salad dressings, but instead we're gonna use this immersion blender. And there's a reason they call it immersion. Why do you think?
Because they asked to keep immersed.
You gotta stay immersed. You gotta keep it immersed because if you don't, you can have like splatter all over the kitchen, and trust me, I've done that before. So let's get that over here. Okay, so we want to use something that's got high sides so that we can actually immerse it. So I'm going to get the olive oil and the red wine vinegar. And the ratio, anytime you do a salad dressing, it's 3 parts oil to 1 part acid. So you could use an acid, could be vinegar, it could be lemon juice, anything that's acidic. So always keep that in mind if you're just going to start creating your own dressings. So why don't you go ahead and count to 3, put like 3, guess and put 3 tablespoons in there. We do a lot of guessing here when we cook. Yeah, that one's coming out really slow, so let me do something. Actually, there you go. So we want about 3 tablespoons. It looks like we've run out. We'll get some more. Because sous chef has all kinds of oils and things. I actually have a giant can of olive oil here, so we'll put a little bit more in there. And the acid that we're using is, what is that?
This?
Yeah.
Red something?
Red wine vinegar.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just about what we need. So then I want you to put, which is probably about 1 tablespoon, so let's use this to kind of measure that. It's not a perfect tablespoon, but it'll work. A little bit more. Boom, good job. Now, the secret to all really good salad dressings, believe it or not, is Dijon mustard. This is a grainy Dijon. What happens when you put mustard in any kind of oil vinegar combination, this acts as a natural emulsifier, so it causes all of those molecules to want to bind together. Because if you ever try to mix oil and vinegar together, it never seems like it wants to combine. It just keeps separating. With this, it won't separate. So we're just going to put a little bit in there, about a teaspoon. Put that back here. And then we're going to put 1 clove of garlic. And one way to peel garlic really quick, so we take a knife, lay it flat over the clove, hit it. Make sure that the knife's not tipped up, because that would be a problem, right? And then see how this peels right off?
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier. So we're gonna go ahead and plop that right in there. We don't even have to chop it up. And you are going to mix that with our favorite tool. And remember, keep it immersed. So good luck, bud. You got it?
Yeah.
There's a button right here on the side. Yep. There we go. Perfect. That's all you need to do. That looks good.
Okay.
That is a beautiful dressing right there. And if we didn't have masks, I'd say let's taste it first, because you want to kind of decide if you need to add salt or pepper. So at home, I would suggest that people do that. So it looks like our meatballs are almost done. It's probably time to put our fresh spaghetti pasta in there. And again, what we said, it's not going to take that long, so only about a minute. And these are, they call these nests. So we'll put one nest in at a time. And then these, we want to get the sauce hot, so we're going to switch pans. And we'll take a high-sided saucepan. And can you put all those meatballs in that saucepan for me? There we go. And we're going to go ahead and put the sauce in there with them. And we're going to heat it up over medium heat so that it'll continue to cook the meatballs right in the sauce. And this is a brown buttered tomato sauce that we make here at Isabel's. It is so good. And I think it's going to make your job and life a lot easier at home, so you don't have to make your own sauce. All right, that's pretty good.
Okay.
I think we got more meatballs than we expected out of that batch. So I'm going to set this over here. And let's see if we can get these all happy in the sauce. It's like a big hot tub, right? Mm-hmm. And there we go. We'll let those heat up. And then with the pasta, again, like I said, it's not going to take that long. How do we know it's ready? Usually when they start to float to the top. All right, so we're heating the meatballs up with the pasta sauce. Look at that. And the meatballs will continue to cook, so you want to do that for probably another 8 or 10 minutes because there's still a little pink in the middle. And let's take a look at our pasta, shall we? If you look at it, I don't know if you can see this at home, but when the pasta gets dropped into the boiling water, it usually stops boiling because it cools it off pretty fast, and it drops to the bottom. So we want to make sure we bring this back up to a boil as fast as we can. So not only do you kick up the heat, but you put a lid on it, and that will hold all that heat and it'll bring it up to a boil faster. I didn't have the lid, so I went ahead and just, made do with this. You can do anything. And that should probably within a minute, that'll be ready and we can put the two together. All right, Holden, I think our pasta is ready. Look how great that looks. It floated to the top. It's all nice and cooked. Looks like our meatballs are cooked as well. So we're gonna just mix the two together, and I thought it would be better to put it in another big pan and heat it up a little bit. When you put sauce in a pan and then you put the pasta in, what ends up happening is it starts to absorb some of the pasta starts to absorb some of the sauce, which is really nice. And these little tools, these are called spiders. They're great so that you don't have to take a colander out. You can just pull it right out of the pan and put it right into the next pan. And we're really not going to do that too long. We're just going to get it so it gets all happy in there. I'm going to steal your tongs for a minute. And see how, you can just see how the pasta is actually absorbing that sauce right now. So, that's good to go. Why don't you go ahead and finish assembling your salad?
Okay.
So you're going to put our dressing right over the top of it. Oops. And then you can toss that. Yes, that looks great. And see how that dressing just held together really nice. It didn't separate because of that mustard. It's really nice. Okay, while you're doing that, Holden, I'm going to go ahead and plate this. We're going to put our pasta. You want to get a nice big bowl. Put your pasta in there. Look how good that looks. And then we'll take our spaghetti and meatballs and pour that right over the top. And voila. Look at this wonderful dinner you and I just made together. Great job, Holden. High five me. Was it that hard?
No.
It was super simple.